I noticed something about myself that I don't believe is very common. I find like I find it relaxing doing work, and I think the first time I sort of became aware of this was when I was doing like my exams for high school or secondary school, whatever you call it, and I don't know, I just felt kind of relaxed when I was doing it. And it was kind of weird because everyone else, obviously, unsurprisingly, got like stressed about the exams. Like I was a bit worried, but like I wasn't really sort of. I knew something good would happen at the end of it because I know I'd put in the work. I think it sort of feeds into like one of the two concepts that I sort of believe in. There's like other stuff that I sort of believe in too, but there's one in particular where it's like God's got me or the universe has got me, whatever you want to call it. And I think that as long as you like put in the work, then you'll get what you deserve. Like God or the universe or whatever it is will give you the right outcome of like something that you deserve basically. And yeah, I think that's sort of another one that sort of plays into it as well, which is sort of you get what you give. Like if you put in the effort, you will get something in return that's equal to the effort you put in. And I think that you can say, oh yeah, God's got me or the universe has got me or whatever it is. But if you don't put in the work, you don't even try, like you just take shortcuts, you might, I don't know, you might do a cheat meal if you're doing a diet, whatever it is. If you don't sort of commit to it, then you won't get the results that you really want. I think that's sort of, it was very important during exams because I was like studying basically 5 hours a day. Well, probably a bit more actually, because probably 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 hours a day of just revising, of just doing exam papers or going over concepts in business or PE or digital media. There were subjects or maths subjects I was doing, and I think that people do try and take shortcuts. Well, I've tried to in the past. Like I'll give you an example. Say someone wants to take up running. They want to do a 5k. They want to do a 5k every week. But during their run, they take a shortcut. They don't do like that extra lap of the park, or they might cut through the woods or something, whatever it is. They don't actually do a 5k, they only do like 4k, for example, or however many miles for, I don't know, that's like 2.8 miles, 6 miles, whatever. And I think like if you do only do that 4 kilometers, if you take that shortcut on that run, you won't be as fit as you want. You won't have as much muscular endurance. Your VO2 max won't be as high. You won't get all of these goals that you set out to do and to be more fit. You will be like in good shape, yeah, but you won't be as in shape as someone who did 5k every single time. Where if you did like 4k or you just skipped one day completely, that's a shortcut. That's not gonna get you anywhere long term. You might get short term satisfaction, that's awesome, but there's like a risk. Not a risk, but it's like, I guess it sort of is, but there's like the return's not as great, if that makes sense. You risk missing out on those potential gains. And I think it's something that people like often struggle with because you really need to like work on something like in every like aspect of it. So like going back to my exams, I needed to like know the concepts inside out. Bloody hell, I can't speak. And I need to do the exam so I know what sort of questions will come up and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's very important, and then do it across all the subjects sort of equally, so I have a good chance to like get into the university I want, which I did, which is awesome, on a gap year now. but it's awesome. And I think, yeah, that's what you want. So it's kind of bring it back to the original point, which is like I find like hard work relaxing. It's like because I know I will get something good in return, if that makes sense. So like obviously I'm doing this, like I wrote down like 3 pages on this for the YouTube video. Like I do a bit of tennis coaching, plan out tennis sessions, make sure each stage is good, each week is set out, so it's like you see that improvement and it like makes sense to move on to the next session. And there's also very important as well planning when it comes to trying to achieve like a really high goal. And but in the same sense, it's sort of hard to plan for stuff. It's hard to put in the work unless there's something meaningful behind it. Like with exams, like I know, well, I knew I wanted to get into uni. Like I'm going in September, and yeah, I mean, I knew that was the goal. Like to revise so much that I got into uni with the exam grades, which I did just about. I say just about. Like I did get 2 A's. No, I got an A, A star, and 2 B's, which is all right. I think, and yeah, I think that planning people don't do enough of it. I think that especially when it's like some big goal. If it's like a like spontaneous little thing, fine, fair enough. Do what you want. Have a bit of fun. I do that all the time. It's great fun. But if you're like planning to do something like super meaningful, you need to take time to plan it and also commit to it. Like do the hard work. And I think people forget about the process instead of focusing on the goal, because obviously the goal, that's what you want, that's what everyone wants. But if you focus on the process, you not forget the goal, but you put yourself in a place where you're not dependent on the goal. You're not focusing, it's not your sole focus. Your sole focus is the process, and the process just happens to get you to the goal. And I think that's what I've been trying to get better at. I think I am. I think because I do a bit of like freelance like writing stuff as well. I think I do it good for them, but like personal life, like with this YouTube, like the amount of times I've like postponed videos or just forgot to film is like I'm not playing as much. So maybe there's something to do with that, like the pressure of not performing for someone else, but I'm not doing that for my. It's a weird one. That could be a whole different thing. But I think that going back to sort of you get what you give, you need to put in the work behind the scenes, obviously the planning and all that kind of stuff. But there's also danger of something that I do a lot with this like YouTube thing, is that I overplan. I look at so many different avenues I could take. I sort of fall into trap as like, oh, what do I choose? I think that is quite dangerous. I think, well, yeah, because if you overplan, you overthink. Obviously, overthinking is not fun. You just want to do it. And I think there's a concept that I quite like, which Pablo Picasso, he was sort of not known for it, but like he did it. Obviously, he's known for his amazing pieces of artwork, but I think he, on average, created a piece of art every single day during his career, or something crazy like that. He created so many pieces of artwork, he just got so much better at something. Like his painting, or I don't know if he did any sketches, I think it was mainly his painting, but that's what he did. He did so many iterations of the same thing that he just became so good at it, and I feel like that's something that I'm struggling with, sort of perfection per se. And yeah, I think what Picasso was doing, he was like failing forward. So it's like you do something so many times, you fail, like you're gonna fail. Like I probably messed up this. I'm not sure if I have autofocus on this, or might not even be recording when I want to check this now. Am I recording? Right, I'm still recording. Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, I think like you will be bad at something when you just start. I think I need to realise that, and people won't judge you as much as you judge yourself, or as much as you think people will judge you. Like, people don't really care, really. Obviously, they'll support you if they're your friends. If they're not your friends, they probably be like, "Oh, what's he doing?" and then forget about it like 2 seconds later. So honestly, it's just you. Like, it's like spotlight effect. I'm sure anyone watching might have heard of it. They might not have. Who knows? But that is something that's like people. That's something that you think people are judging more than you think, but they don't actually, because you're just in your head. I think that's pretty common. So yeah, I just want to make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, don't. So I've got like a final recap that I sort of wrote down here. So doing work is doing the hard work, quote unquote, is sort of relaxing to me because of two concepts. It's like God's got me and you get what you give. I think that's very important. It's like, it's weird because I just didn't stress out about it during exams, which is weird. And I'm just a relaxed person, so maybe, I think it's not even just doing work. I think that's just concepts I just carry with me everywhere because I just, like, I know I'll be fine. So it's like silly as it sounds, I've obviously got to do stuff. I just feel like I will be fine no matter what. I don't know, it's a weird one. I guess that helps because I'm just a relaxed person. I'm not going to complain about that at all. Confidence in hard work and ability. I think that's just about putting in the work. You'll be confident with the outcomes, that sort of thing. Don't take shortcuts. Yeah, long-term thinking. Obviously, you want to think long-term. Shortcuts. Going back to like the running analogy, if you only do 4K and someone else does 5K, the person who does 5K is going to be more fit, basically. Work is relaxing only if it's got an underlying purpose behind it. Yeah, like if it's not something meaningful, like if you're just doing something because you have to do it, you don't really want to do it. There's no outcome that you really want to get. Chances are you're not going to put in the hard work, so there's no point really doing it. That's why I think some people like choose to like not really care about, like, it could be their exams or just stuff in their work, just because they simply don't care. They're just there because they have to, and if they're not, they don't really know what else they do. Like, if they went in school, what else would they do? Like 16-year-old, 17, 18, what? I guess they could get a job, maybe, but then they'd have to do that, otherwise their parents probably would kick them out. And again, like at work, if you stuck with something that you don't really want to do, but if you don't do it, you'll get fired. And the only way to have meals, like, I'm very lucky, I don't have to pay for bills and stuff. I'm very, very, very blessed, very thankful for that. But yeah, it's sort of like, if you have to do it, but you don't really want to, it's not going to be fun to do. So like, because I'm very lucky, I get to do a gap year, I get to stay at home with my parents. It's very nice, I get to explore many different things. I'm trying this, I'm doing graphic design, a bit of poetry, a bit of the freelance writing, tennis coaching. I can just do stuff that I want to do, not stuff that I have to do. Yeah, process, greater than outcome, covered that pretty well. Failing forward, again, just iterate, see how many times you can do stuff. I just have a plan to do this daily, but we'll see how that goes. I want to try and do one every week, and short form. So I'm posting poetry. I'll just link that somewhere. I'll probably do it in the description. Doing that every day, because that's pretty easy to do. Because I like figured out a system where I can do 3. I can like edit the videos and do the scripts and everything and record for like 3 in like an evening, like after dinner. So I only really need to do that 2 or 3 times a week, which is pretty good. And no one's judging you as much as you think. Spotlight effect. Spotlight effect is big. I think I've been affected by that a lot. It sort of stopped me from doing so many things I want to do. And I feel like social media is just, I don't know, that does not help it at all. I feel like everyone's sort of in their head, everyone's overthinking, everyone's thinking that spotlight's on them, when it's really not, it's just you in your head. So yeah, I don't know how long this was. I didn't check my watch when I started this, but I wanted to record this at past. It can't have been 20 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, good job, me. I don't know what else to say. These outros are going to be really bad, but... What was that? Oops. How do I... There you go, turn it off.